size. Well, we're very happy to be here once again for another meeting. And of course, it's a joint meeting with Barbican and Kingston. Both clubs are in Kiwanis Division 23 Central. And we have with us this evening our district administrator for Circle K, D.A. Leo, who of course is the face of Circle K at the recent concluded Decon, and he will share with us all that we need to know about Circle K going forward. Also, I want to extend welcome to IPG Dolores and KIT Hope. Thank you so very much for taking the time out of your schedule to be here with us this evening. And I trust that you will enjoy this joint meeting.
Come back to your question.
I will hand over to President Ashira to say a few words.
Thank you so much, President Paul. Good evening again, distinguished Ghanaians. First, I'd like to acknowledge our LG, Rosemary, and KIT Hope, other distinguished Kiwanians, Circle K members, prospects, and guests. Welcome to this joint meeting of Barbican and Kingston, and thank you for being here. I would like to use this opportunity to introduce past Lieutenant Governor Llewellyn Allen. I'm not certain if he's on at the moment, to our club. He's the reassigned club coach to our club. PLG Llewellyn.
President Ashira, he's not on us yet.
All right, thank you so much for that. All right, so at this time, I would like to invite our LG, who will be bringing in greetings. LG Rosemary.
Hi, good evening, President Paul and President Ashira. It is certainly good to be here. One of the things that I have indicated to President Paul that I love to see is our clubs doing joint meetings and joint project together. It is so good to see us working together as we work together to serve our children and those who are in need. I'm very happy to be here this evening. I'm looking forward to hearing from D.A. Leo. Circle K is one of our service leadership program that we certainly enjoy working with, and that we continue to support year over year. And so I'm looking forward to what he has to say to us and for our continued work in that area. Have a good evening, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, LG Rosie.
May I pop in PLG Llewellyn here? I was having some problems with my mic.
Yes.
Thanks for the kind welcome, President Ashira, and may you and your club and the Kiwanis of Kingston have a wonderful meeting.
Thank you so much, PLG, and looking forward to working with you.
You're welcome.
Sorry about that, President Paul. You may go ahead.
Yeah, no problem, President Ashira. To do the official welcome of our participants online this evening, I'm going to call on PE Junior. But before PE Junior takes control, I want to also extend our welcome to LGDU for also being here with us this evening. Thank you very much, LGDU.
Happy to be here, President Paul. Wouldn't miss D.A. Leo's presentation for the world.
Yes, absolutely. PE Junior, over to you, sir.
Yes, President Paul, good evening. Thank you, President Paul. Good evening and welcome to all our Kiwanians and all our special guests that are on with us tonight. To this very special meeting, a joint meeting between Kiwanis Club of Barbican and Kingston. We are going to be giving the club at this point a little time to bring greetings from their clubs. So we will start with all the clubs from outside of Jamaica would like to bring greetings at this time. All those clubs outside of Jamaica that would like to bring greetings at this point with us. Those clubs outside of Jamaica. If we are not ready on that yet, we will move to those clubs inside of Jamaica.
Good night.
Good night. Good night. Very good night to you.
Good night, President-elect Junior, President Paul, President Ashura, all distinguished Kiwanians. I am Joycelyn Watts Phillips from the Kiwanis Club of Barbados Central. And with me tonight, I have immediate past governor of EC&C, Dolores Lewis, DP Palm, who is also the Kiwanis advisor, Palm Lord. I have President-elect Arlene Holder, Distinguished Secretary Annette Eswick, Director Annette Brown. We are happy to be here and we're looking forward to the presentation by DA. Thank you so much.
And thank you all for coming. Thank you all for coming all the way from Barbados.
Good night.
You're welcome.
Good night.
Hi, good night. This is President Ria from the Kiwanis Club of Bridgetown. I'm here tonight with DLG Jennifer Hinkson and Kay Marvel, and it's a pleasure to be here with you tonight. Thank you for having us.
And thank you for coming. Any other clubs from outside of Jamaica?
Good night, everyone. I'm Shooter Brathwaite, and I bring greetings from UE Cape Hill. I'm here with my VP as well, and thank you for having us, and we look forward to today's meeting.
I look forward to being with you as well. Thank you for coming.
Good evening. This is President Iselin from the Kiwanis Club of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Okay.
Tonight with me, I have Secretary Jasmine and Vice President Edson. We're happy to be here. Looking forward to your presentation.
All right, and thank you for coming again. Any others from outside of Jamaica? If not, let us move from our Division 25 in Jamaica.
So, good evening.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, continue.
I am past president, division secretary. Past president, division secretary for Sunshine Division 22 and immediate past district administrator for Key Club and Action Club here from the Bahamas. And I think that was my fellow Kiwanian from my club, distinguished President Karen Nan. We are both from the Kiwanis Club of Fort Montague here in the Bahamas.
Okay.
Looking forward to DA Leo's presentation this evening.
Thank you for coming, and we certainly welcome you all here. Any others from outside of Jamaica? We're full posse tonight.
Good evening. My name is Elixir, and I'm here with my secretary, Kimberly. We're from the CKI APE of Aruba.
Okay. Thank you for coming, and thank you for being with us tonight. Any others from outside of Jamaica? Okay, if not, let us move to Division 25.
Good night.
Division 25.
Good night, sir.
Good night, sir.
This is Past President St. Clair from Kiwanis Club Barbados South. With me tonight.
We still.
Vice President Crystal.
Good night, and thank you for coming.
Yes, DLEO.
Good night. Thank you for coming. Any others from outside of Jamaica? Because we still have quite a lot, it seems, from outside of Jamaica tonight. Let us move back to 25 then, Division 25. Division
good
25.
Evening. Yes, good evening.
Good evening to you.
This is IPP Nadine. On behalf of the on behalf of President Glendon of the Kiwanis Club of Hopewell, we're happy to be sharing in your meeting this evening. There are 3 of us on the call, including Kiwanis International Trustee Hope, and we look forward to presentation from DA Leo. Blessings.
We certainly welcome you tonight at this meeting. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Division 25.
Hello, good evening, good night.
Good evening to you.
I just logged on, so I'm not sure. I'll just update the numbers in the chat as the meeting progresses, but I'm presently from the Kiwanis Club of the Alison Supreme.
Yes.
I'm happy to be sharing with you.
Yes, I'm certainly happy to have you tonight as well.
Thank you. Blessings on your meeting.
Good, and thanks. Same to you.
Thank you very much.
Good. Division 24. Division 24. Those from Division 24 that would like to bring greetings at this time. Division 20, let us move to our own division then. Division 23, and we'll start.
Good evening, PE Junior. I bring you greetings from the members of the Kiwanis Club of South St. Catherine. With me this evening is LGD Pauline, VP Melinda, PVP Pauline, DP Weaver, DP Charm. I have a prospect with me, Prospect Danique, and I'm President Althea. Thank you so much.
Althea, thank you for coming. And we so do welcome you at this meeting tonight.
Thank
you.
You.
Quite a force with you tonight.
Yes.
Yes, good. 23 West.
Good evening, PE Junior. I am Christopher Humber from the Kiwanis Club of Spanish Town, also the Key Club Administrator. I'm here to support my fellow brother, DA Leo, in his presentation. The Spanish Town bus will be rolling in soon as I work in Kingston, so I'm at your meeting. But we're waiting on the bus to come in to roll in some more people for this evening.
Good, and I'm sure they will come in a while. Division 23 East.
West, PE Junior.
West. You see that West, right?
This is DP Janet, and I bring you greetings on behalf of presidents and members of the Kiwanis Club of the Sunshine City Portmore. There are 6 of us online, including President Fred, and we're looking forward to a great meeting. Thank you.
Yes, we certainly thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
And we know you'll enjoy this meeting tonight with DA Leo.
Yes, thanks.
23 East and West.
PE Junior.
Yes.
Greetings from President Affis and the members of the Kiwanis Club of Downtown Kingston. Greetings, President Paul, President Ashira, and to all Kiwanians in Kingston and LG and everybody else who is online. Bring you warm greetings from the Kiwanis Club of Downtown Kingston. And with today we have 3 members. I am DLG Lloyd, and of course DA Leo, who is presenting on our behalf. We do expect a few more Kiwanians, including former DA Lloyd Davis, to join us as well. I said DLG Lloyd Distant Senior online. So look forward to a great meeting.
We certainly look forward to a great meeting as well. And thank you for coming. Division 23 East and West.
Good evening.
Yes.
This is DP Judith from the Kiwanis Club of South St. Andrew and 23 East Professional St. Andrew online. On behalf of President Courtney of the 23 East, I bring you greetings. And presently we are 2 in numbers, and I think the numbers should be growing in a little while. I just saw 1 member pop in and pop back off, so I think she may be having issues with connection. So looking forward to DA Leo, all that he has to say about our SLPs tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Good. 23 East, 23 West. If not, let us move to 23 Central. Our own division, 23 Central.
Good evening, everyone. This is President Coyote Palmo from Kiwanis Club of St.
and just Southern professionals online. I bring you greetings from all my members. I'm alone at the moment. I'm expecting numbers as the meeting progresses.
I am sure you'll have those numbers as we move on. Thank you for coming in the meantime. 23 Central.
Good evening, P. Junior. How are you doing?
I am quite fine.
Great. So I am co-chair Eurydice from the Kiwanis Club of 23 Central, Surrey Online.
Good.
And thanks. And at the moment we have 3 members.
Yes.
Yeah, TP Desmond. I know your title, but and Secretary LaShawn and myself, co-chair Eurydice. And I know that more members will join pretty soon. But in the interim, we're looking forward to this discussion with this presentation with our guest this evening, the Leo.
Yes.
I don't know if I get that correctly. D.A. Leo.
Yes.
SLP.
D.A. Leo.
Yes, thank you, D.A. Leo. So thank you so much. And thank you for having us.
And thank you for coming.
Mm-hmm.
Division 23 Central. Any other Kiwanians online that would like to bring greetings quickly? What about our non-Kiwanians or prospects? Yeah. Are there any non-Kiwanians that would like to bring greeting at this time? If not, at this time we'll move to our SLPs. Our SLPs online with us. There should be quite a few tonight, I would expect. What about our SLPs?
Good evening, everyone.
Good
I
evening.
am President Wendy and Ivy from the UE Mona Circle K. We're currently at a delegation of 11. Thank you for
Quite a
having us.
big delegation. Thank you for coming.
Good evening, everyone.
Yes.
I am President Shanta Russell from STC-CKI. Alongside me is IPP Kadia Fagan. Thank you for having us tonight. Looking forward to an informative meeting.
Good. Thank you for coming. Other SLPs?
Good evening, everyone. LG Britley Robinson here from the Sunshine Division. A part of the UTEC West CKI as well, and there are 2 in number. Other members of our division, which is UCC CKI, they are 3 in number. The Collegio EPI is 2 in number. UA Western Campus is 1 in number.
Good.
And Sam Sharp Teachers College is 1 in number.
Okay. Thank you for coming. I know we are all looking forward to the presentation from D.A. Leo tonight. So if there are no others at this point in time, I will just turn you back to our President Paul to continue. President Paul, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Yeah, thank you very much, P. Junior.
Good.
Apologies for absence. I have 2 apologies. DP Earl and our Director Warren are absent this evening. President Ashera.
Yes, thank you, President Paul. I have one, our DLG Bev. She is absent from this meeting. And I would also like to recognize my prospect, Collinette Flour. She's on by the name of Colette. Thank you for coming. And I hope that you will enjoy.
Thank you.
Back to you.
Yeah, move on to the recognition of birthdays and anniversaries. Call on our bulletin editor, VP Newton.
Thank you, President Paul. Good evening, everyone. President Paul, did I hear correctly? You said Director Warren has tendered his apologies?
Yes, yes. Yes.
Okay, I kind of expected it because today people is Director Warren's birthday, and the number of greetings that I've seen thrown his way. I mean, he must be tired, right? So it's well understood. So for birthdays and anniversaries for this week, as I already said, Director Warren McDonald celebrates his birthday today, and Kiwanian Andrew Rogers celebrates on the 7th. Now for anniversaries, we have none other than PD Reverend Stottrell Lowe and Alice, who celebrate their anniversary on the 6th, which is tomorrow. And we have Kiwanian Gregory Dixon and Donna, who celebrate on the 9th. That's it for our set people. I don't know if there's anyone on this platform who is celebrating any anniversary, birthday, any special occasion who would like to share with us through President Paul. I'd ask you to open your microphone and let us know we can celebrate with you. Anyone? Okay, well, I know tonight is the night for DA Leo, so back to you, President Paul.
Yes, thank you very much, VP Newton. President Shearer?
Yes, President Paul. All right, so I'd like to call on our Secretary Yolande to acknowledge birthdays for our members. Secretary Yolande? All right, continue the meeting, President Paul.
Okay, thank you very much, President Shearer. We'll have our Q&A education segment done by DLG William. DLG William.
Thank you. Thank you, President Paul. Good evening, all. President Paul and Ashira, LG Rosie, all distinguished Kiwanians, fellow Kiwanians. I thought for Kiwani's education tonight, I will speak to you briefly on the origin of service leadership clubs in Jamaica. Some of the information I got from the history of Kiwanis in Jamaica, 1964 to 2009 by Professor Patrick Bryan. The sponsor youth movement in Jamaica originated during the 1975 to 76 administrative year when the then Lieutenant Governors of Division 23, and none other than distinguished Lieutenant Governor of Excellence Lloyd Diston Sr. from the Downtown Kingston Club, and Division 24, DLG Henry Song of the Ocean Club, respectively decided to place emphasis on development of the sponsor youth movement rather than the expansion of Kiwanis clubs. In consequence, 10 groups were chartered. In Division 23, we had 4 key clubs, 2 Kiwanis clubs, 2 Billers clubs, and in Division 24, we had 2 key clubs. Following its international counterparts, the Jamaican Kiwanians introduced children at a relatively age to the objects and practices of Kiwanis, starting at basic school level and going through primary, elementary, secondary, and tertiary educational institutions. The Kiwanians are also committed to organizing Billers clubs in primary and all-age schools, key clubs in high school, and Circle K in tertiary institutions. By 2006, Kiwani Circle K International, where tertiary students had nearly 13,000 members on over 500 university and college campuses in 13 nations. The first Circle K club in the Caribbean was established at the College of Bahamas. The first Circle K club in Jamaica and the second in the Caribbean was organized by Kiwani's Club of Kingston at Michael College on the 27th of October 1974 during the presidency of distinguished Lieutenant Governor of Excellence Robert Blackwood. Michael Cirque, as we all know, is a service organization through which university college students can find a means of responsible action in their community and more active involvement in the life of their campus. It places emphasis on four major areas: service, leadership, development, and fellowship. The Kiwanis Club of Kingston remains committed to the development of competent and caring leaders through our service leadership program, as we seek to fulfill the fourth object of Kiwanis International, which states to develop by precept and example a more intelligent, aggressive, and servile citizenship. Finally, the challenge in going forward is to find ways to enrich each new member's service leadership experience and make it more meaningful, as well as our continuous efforts of involving our members, especially our newer members. It's integral to the success of our leadership program. Thank you, President Paul.
Yes, thank you very much, DLG Willie, for taking us down the memory lane, the journey of our formation of Circle K Micro. At this time, we'll call on Chairman Arsenio, who is also the chairman from our Micro College Circle K Club, to do the introduction to our guest speaker. Chairman Arsenio.
Good evening, fellow Kiwanians and guests. As Kingston's SLP Chair for Circle K, it is my pleasure to introduce tonight's guest speaker, District Administrator Leo Williams from the Caribbean District of CKI. Leo is a product of Kiwani's SLP movement. He's a past Key Club president at Excelsior High School, also past CKI president at CKI Club, before he moved on to CAS, now UTEC, where he was the LG for the CKI Paradise Division, and then the EC and CKI District Governor the following year. He joined the Kiwanis Club of Downtown Kingston after leaving CKI, where he is the distinguished president for the 2017-2018 administrative year. Leo was appointed the CKI District Administrator for the Caribbean District in April 2020. Professionally, he is the chairman for Allied Protection Limited and Allied Group of Companies Limited. He is married with 2 adult sons and loves to play squash, travel, and is a foodie at heart. He lives by the ethos, give thanks in all circumstances, and is also a believer in stoicism. Please join me in welcoming DA Leo Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, President Ashora, President Paul. I see IT Hope online. Also, I see immediate past Governor Dolores. I see my brother and sister in DA world in terms of Christopher and Aldika. And of course, LG Rosie, other distinguished Kiwanians across, not just in Jamaica, but across the Caribbean who take time out to share in this meeting. My fellow Kiwanians all over, SLP members who take time out to attend this meeting as well, and guests. Good evening to you all. I hope I can be heard clearly. Can I?
Yes, you're being heard clearly.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right. So with Kiwanis Club Downtown, with Kiwanis Club Kingston, a lot of you may not know this, but I have a very strong history with this club. My father, Don Williams, was a member of the Kiwanis Club Kingston. My late father, he passed in 2014. And I remember as a kid, he used to host board meetings and committee meetings at our home. And I remember going to the Kiwanis Club Kingston barbecues at Police Officers Club. Trust me, I used to love those times running around the place. And also when I get older, I was able to attend the soca party at Jeffrey Masado's residence. Trust me, I had fun time there. And of course, the adult and very posh event of the annual ball. These are some very memorable occasions where they come on to the Kiwanis Club of Kingston for me in my formative years, and just the connection. Because even some of your stalwart members, such as past Governor Carlton Levy, Milton Weller, Mike Enriquez, Rex Fennell. I was extremely sad when I returned to Jamaica and heard that these gentlemen, stalwarts of not just Kingston Club, but Kiwanis in general, had passed away. But, those men were, very, very good part of my childhood. And even today, there are still some members around, like Trevor Christian, who he and I had a good chat a couple weekends ago, Stan Donwell, Tommy Brown, Lloyd Barnett Jr., who was cussing me off the other day about something. So I still have a very strong connection. And it's amazing that I did actually join your club as opposed to in downtown Kingston, but it's just the connection that was there and always will be there. And it's indeed a pleasure for me to be here. As a matter of fact, to be honest with you, I can't believe, I'm just reflecting on when Dad used to take me to some of the Kiwanis luncheon meeting at Wyndham. And I was so nervous. And I could never in a million years imagine that one day this wonderful club, which is actually the very first club for our Caribbean members, for members from other regions. This Kiwanis Club of Kingston, the very first Kiwanis Club that was actually formed in Jamaica. And it's definitely one of our traditional clubs that, and just for me to have this opportunity to address this club, is indeed an honor. Now, as was mentioned before, in terms of, and DLG Willie Reason pointed out that I have to emphasize it because it's that important, is that this club had the foresight to charter the very first CKI club in Jamaica in 1977, October 1977. And I tell you, and the CKI movement is forever indebted to you, the club, and also DLG Lloyd Distance Sr. for having the foresight to bring CKI to the Jamaican shores. One thing I must say before I continue, and as a matter of fact, I was sharing this recently with someone. Notice I keep using the term CKI, and even my background here, if I can get it right, yeah, there it is. I think it's on this side. It says CKI as opposed to Circle K. We're actually going through a soft rebranding, and as I mentioned to someone recently, it's not a hard rebranding where you said, as of this date, you stop using this name and dispose of all documents with Circle K. It's not that. It's a soft one, it's a gentle one, it's a rolling one over a period of time. So seeing to have this audience, I'm going to encourage you all to, let's use a new terminology, which is CKI as opposed to Circle K. And instead of saying Circle Kers, we say CKI members. It's just like we have gone to a rebranding already, where we remember back in the day, we used to have sponsored youth, and that was in my time with the sponsored youth movement. And there is no longer sponsored youth. It is now Service Leadership Program, SLP. So going forward, and I'm really happy that I had this opportunity, not just to talk to Barbican and Kingston Kiwanis Club, but a number of Kiwanis clubs across the length and breadth of Jamaica, but also across the Caribbean. I see some members of mine from Barbados, Bahamas, St. Lucia, Antigua, and Aruba. Hey, I really appreciate the turnout, and thank you for that. There are a couple of things I must start off by saying. Two things I want you all to keep in mind as we continue this presentation. First thing is that the message that I'm presenting is not geared towards the Kiwanis Club of Barbican, nor the Kiwanis Club of Kingston. It is geared towards Kiwanis in general. And because we have such a wide cross-section of clubs, Kiwanis clubs attending across the Caribbean, perfect opportunity, perfect platform. So please take it that this message is for all Kiwanis International. The second thing, I must apologize from now, in case if I offend anyone. I might, because I'm going to be very honest. There are some things need to be changed. And this is not me going to tell about CKI and what CKI does and all the CKI numbers. I'm not going to go through all of that, really. I really am not. You all know that we have presentation. I come to DCMs and made those presentations. This is about the relationship between Kiwanis and CKI that needs to be addressed for us to move forward. And the thing is, as a product of the K family movement, I think I'm well placed to speak on this issue. This is not theory. This is not what somebody tell me. This is what I've experienced. This is what other persons who I know have also experienced. So this is what we're talking about, the future, our future through CKI. And our, of course, means Kiwanis. Now, Kiwanis is a part of the service organization, international service organizations. We have other service organizations, as we know, like Lion. And for their youth branch, they're called Leos, as we know. For Rotary, they try to get it right, but they're not as close as Kiwanis, where they have two branches. They have for the high school, they have Interact, and for the tertiary student, they have Rotaract clubs. For Optimists, there is Junior Optimists. And of course, we come on to Kiwanis. Kiwanis get it right in terms of we catch the entire gamut of the formative years of our youth, from primary to secondary to tertiary. So we get the full gamut. And we have been recognized as having the best youth movement of all the other service organizations. But guess what? The really sad truth of it is this, which we haven't such a successful youth movement, and we have some really outstanding leaders who have emerged from our Builders Club, our Key Club, even our Cirque. As a matter of fact, most of our leaders, our nation leaders, came through the Key Club movement. Our current prime minister is a former Key Clubber, right? And I'm quite sure this does not apply only to our, not just apply to Jamaica here, but it also applies to our entire ECNC district. But guess what? Our numbers are falling, in Kiwanis, that is. And with the number of SLPs, members that we have had since the 1970s, think about it. Let's be very logical. Let's have a reasoning session here. With the amount of SLP members who have passed through our hands, who have developed into good leaders, why is it that in Kiwanis our numbers are falling? I know somebody might be very uncomfortable with that question. And sometimes we have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable to spur change. I know sometimes when people are challenged into a comfortable situation, they will retreat into their comfort zone. And sometimes the more forward-thinking one will burst through and do what's necessary to address the issue. And as Kiwanians, we are going to burst through and address the issue. But the question is, and I really want you to think about it. Why is Kiwanis numbers falling when we have so many SLP members who should be Kiwanians now, like myself, for example? There should be several other persons who came through the SLP who are now Kiwanians, who should make up a larger percentage of our membership. But sadly, that is not the case. And we all know that. And I want us to take a very honest look at why this is so. I'm going to ask you some questions, and it's not for you to necessarily answer all. Matter of fact, not necessary, but don't answer all. We don't have time for that. But it's for you to really think about it, because the thing is, when you answer out, sometimes to shame face, you might say, yeah, when you honestly don't think so. But when you're thinking and the answer within yourself, I want you to think about it, because that time you're more honest with yourself. So I'm going to ask you these questions. And the question doesn't pertain to if your club sponsors a CKI club. No. Whether your club sponsors a CKI club or not, the question pertains to you. The first question is, how many persons, Kiwanians here, ever attend a CKI club meeting? Think about it. Have you ever attended a CKI club meeting? And if you have, when was the last time you attended one? I also want to think about, other than knowing, because some Kiwanians actually see CKI members as junior Kiwanians, but how many of you actually know about CKI, know about the structure of CKI, know the leadership team of CKI, have attended a project, know what our major emphasis projects are? How many of you have actually, who knows all of this? I also want you to look at within yourself as well and say, how many of your clubs, your club actually inter-club with another, not another, but with a CKI club that your club didn't sponsor? How many of you actually attended a CKI project? Now, this is not a joint project that your club have, and you bring the CKI members on board to be the muscles, to be the one to lift the heavy stuff. I'm not talking about those. That's your project. I'm talking about how many of you actually just go to us, you know that your CKI club or a CKI club is on a project, and you actually visit. And not just visit, but participate. Think about that. Think about that. Now, I'm going to take a step back a little bit and tell you about me and how it evolved. A lot of you might not believe this or know this, but yes, in school, I was, in my younger years, I was very shy, very awkward teenager. Public speaking, no, I would rather give up my right hand before I do any form of public speaking. Even in the classroom, I dread public speaking. And I'm going to level with you all. I think some of you might know this. But the reason why I joined the Key Club in high school, I remember they always have membership drive and persons always approach me to join. I remember it distinctly. There was a Key Club membership drive, and my friend and I were walking past. And he said, let us jump. I said, no, I'm not wasting my time. I was about to talk patois, but for my members from other regions, I just keep it standard English. I'm not going to join Key Club. He said, what is it? I said, I don't know. I'm quite sure they teach you how to make keys, a locksmith club. And I don't want to make keys or anything like that. I just wasn't interested. But I became involved. Everybody joined for a different reason. You know what I joined for? The prettiest girl in my high school became the president of our Key Club. And I had to be in that club. I had to be in that club. And I remember when I went, I joined I was in the back of the room. As a matter of fact, I stayed at the back of the room for a long time, and just to talk to her, I would go to projects and get involved. And it's from that I realized that there's more to Key Club other than the pretty girl. Yes, I got to projects and I really enjoy the projects. And some experience that I've had really give me an answer, because the truth is, I was one of those persons who were blessed growing up. Life was, I was not rich billionaire. I didn't have Bill Gates as my father, but we're comfortable. But getting a chance to be exposed to, going some of the inner city, doing some work down there, let me really yes, the poor woman, I saw that. I really get a chance to appreciate my life some more. And not just appreciate my life, but also want to give back as a kid. Yes. And that also affects a lot of other key clubbers and Builders Club members. I also start my leadership skills because start to be developed. I became director and club president, and when I moved on to college, the same thing. I was like, I find myself, my leadership skills were developing. I was growing. And these skills that I was learning is not skills that the school system doesn't normally teach you this. It's more academic. This was personal development in terms of leadership skills and conflict management and what have you. And I grew. I grew to the point where I said before that you would not even catch me talking in front of my own classroom, but less to become a public speaker. Yeah, I found myself I remember going to the Kiwanis District Convention in Kingston, Ontario. I was the CKI governor at the time, giving a presentation to a very large audience. And I survived. I'm still here. I thought I would die, but guess what? I survived. And I'm here giving a presentation to 150 plus. Yes, I developed. One I think also that from my own personal experience is that I developed lifelong friendships. Seriously, to this very day, I have friends from my Key Club days and better yet, my CKI days. As a matter of fact, my wife, I met her in CKI and we've been married for 28 years now. So yes, it has been good to me. And the joke about it is that my story, Leo Williams' story, is replicated hundreds of times with other person. That's just me, that's one person, but it's replicated several hundreds of thousands, well, I won't say 100,000, but hundreds of persons have a similar experience from their K family experience growing up. But guess what? This is the tough part. After I left school, I didn't just graduate from UTech and just went to join Kiwanis. I didn't. There's a couple of years passed. And the truth is, I honestly didn't plan on joining Kiwanis. That's the truth. I wasn't interested. And you might say, but Leo, look what the K family have done for you. You get a wife out of it, for crying out loud. Yeah, but I still wasn't interested. And the sad truth is, a lot of former CKI members have that same experience. I talked with a lot of former leadership members, persons who attained as far as international president, persons who were several past governors, several international trustees, persons who have grown immensely from their experience. And they said, no, they're not going to join Kiwanis. Or then join, but wasn't really interested to push it forward. That right there is what we need to address. That right there is what this is about. This is about Kiwanis survival. And if you're not careful, Kiwanis won't last another 20 years, 40 years. Kiwanis will be a relic of the past. And the sad truth is, the opportunity, the leadership development opportunity that a lot of young people, including myself, I will call myself young now. The circus think that I'm an old man, but I'm among you guys, so I'm young. A lot of young people like myself developed immensely from this organization that school alone wouldn't be able to do it, that my family alone wouldn't be able to do it. And if our organization eventually dies, if we should continue on the same path, I don't care if you're offended. I shouldn't say I don't care, but I'm sorry if you're offended, but it will die. And with it, it will be the opportunities for young people to develop like we have. And that will be a disservice to the future generation. We have to stop. It's not business as usual, and recognize the slippery slope that we are on. We have to recognize that we have to make some changes. I just told you about my experience. I just told you how I've developed. I just told you that I get a wife out of this. But yes, I wasn't interested. You know why? There's a disconnect. There is a disconnect between Kiwanis and the SLPs. We created, we put the systems in place. We monitor it from a distance. We do everything from a distance. And that gap is getting bigger. And if we don't recognize, acknowledge, and put plans in place to address it, we're going to have some serious issues. Serious issues. As a matter of fact, I have been talking with the international office, with the meetings that I have attended as a DA, and also with the district office when I attend meetings there with the governor designate, etc. And I've been pushing. Somebody may not like me for this, but guess what? It's life. It's for the betterment. I've been pushing for us to have demerit points. Yes, demerit points. We don't have it in our structure right now. And no, here's a reality. Here's a hard fact of it. And it's a sad truth. I was a president myself. Most time when a president come in office, the first thing they do, they take the paper and say, what is there for me to become distinguished? What is the distinguished criteria? And if the president doesn't do it, the guardians of the club will call him to a meeting and say, come, we need to maintain our distinguished status. We need to maintain the strong tradition that we have. And in order for us to continue as distinguished, these are the points we need to get. Developing SLP clubs is one of those points. And we have no problem in creating, chartering clubs. But the sad and vanished truth is, a lot of time, unfortunately is a lot of time, once a club is created, mission accomplished, I get the 10 points or the 15 points, we're good to go. And that club is left on their own. Or you might assign one person as a current advisor, and that one person is current advisor for the next 156 years. No new blood could visit that club. No new ideas, no other members of the club even know where the club meets or what time they meet. And when that member decides, say, all right, I'm going to take a step back or whatever you're unfortunately passed on, then somebody else get that chain around their neck to walk with for the next 56 million years. You can't treat the clubs like that. It's our future. And these Kiwanians, they do a yeoman job of great service. They do. The circles develop a love for them. They are now being referred to as uncles and aunts, and it's good. But guess what? You need fresh blood to be cycled in, bringing fresh ideas. And that brings about continuity and many hands lighten the load. Let me say that slowly, especially for our regional friends. Many hands lighten the load. So I have been pushing for the international office and the district office to have demerit points. And here the demerit points work. The demerit point simply says that if you have an SLP club that is moving to inactive status or suspended status, they lose points for a distinguished criteria. You lose points. And worse yet, if the club loses its charter, you lose a larger slice of choice of points. Because we have to wake up the clubs when it comes to SLPs. It's not about points anymore. It's not about distinguished status. It's about people's lives. It's about the future generation. And we can't keep playing around with this. We can't. It is sad. Really sad. No, we have to address that disconnect. We really do. And I'm going to talk from my experience. That's the best thing. I remember when I was governor, lieutenant governor, and some people still experience, I would say still because I'm DA now, so I take careful note of these things. But I remember, and I think to some extent, it might be still there. I'm going to address two sets of Kiwanians. One set is the Kiwanians who really do attend meetings. I'm going to address them first because there are opportunities there that needs to be addressed. And then I'm going to address this other set of Kiwanians who I was asking a question to, who don't even know what CKI means, never been to a CKI meeting, don't only see CKI members as junior Kiwanians. So I'm going to address them second. The one that attends CKI meetings and so forth. It is very important that you recognize this. Circle K's young people are developing. A lot of them have self-esteem issues. Really, yes, a lot of them have self-esteem issues. A lot of them have other problems going on. And they're easily intimidated. And it is important that you see your role there to help them to grow, help them to develop into all they can be. And you have to be careful about what you say to them. Seriously, you really do. You can't go to a meeting and I remember from my time as well, you have some Kiwanians who come to the meeting, there's an event, and they will come, sit at the back of the room, and they didn't interact, they didn't engage. And they more criticize what is going on, what the circuits or the CKI members are saying or doing, without addressing it with the person in mind or in question. Now, the CKI members, they're developing. They're going to make mistakes, of course, because they're going through a learning process. And you're there to help them to grow. But as part of helping them to grow, you provide constructive feedback. Don't have 3 or 4 Kiwanians at the back of the room talking among yourselves. And sometimes making some very critical comments that CKI members who are nearby hear. And they will then share it with the person who you're criticizing, who just simply tear down their self-esteem. And the CKI members who are here start to lose trust in the Kiwanians. Because they say if they're criticizing them and them better than me, you can imagine me go up there, they might tear me apart. And they start shy away. You must build up. When you go, your force of positive energy. You're there to guide, not to criticize. You're there to provide constructive feedback. So even if someone's doing something bad after the meeting or the best opportune time, please provide that feedback to them in a very positive way. That does a lot for them. I can tell that there's some Kiwanians out there who are doing a wonderful job. Wonderful job. As a matter of fact, the impact that they have on the CKI members are such that the CKI member gravitated them. I was at district convention recently in March, the first weekend in March. And KIT Hope is a champion for CKI members. That lady she have a genuine love for CKI. And it shows where I was we were at lunch and she came to join us. And she sneaked in, a lot of people didn't know. And when the CKI members from Montego Bay saw her, they got all excited and they rushed her. Poor KIT, you would think, and the other visitors at the hotel thought that she was a superstar, thought she was some local celebrity. They really did. They thought, because you can't imagine all these people looking and say, what's going on over there? Why all those young people rushing that? And of course, you know, KITO is the tallest person, support KITO. You understand? That is genuine love. Do you understand? When DLG Willie Reese attend meetings and so forth, the circle has them surround him. Is Uncle Willie that? When Uncle Willie talk, that man is Santa Claus all year round. And that is an example of some of the outstanding Kiwanians out there who providing that positive effect on people. And there are others in other clubs. I'm not going to start list from every club, no. Because even my own club, downtown Kingston, there's Lloyd Distance, that has that effect on the SLP. I remember when I was in Key Club and Circuit, Lloyd Distance was God for me. Lloyd Distance, you understand? And that is what it's about. And they had some more freshmen. I see a couple of circuits put CCK members put in Mr. Rampier, and there's D.A. Chris, among others there. So don't get me wrong. I am not saying that Kiwanians are not making that impact. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that we need to have more Kiwanians make that impact. Because the sad truth of the matter is, even with my personal experience, who have these positive examples of Kiwanians, 10 Kiwanians say something really good to me, and 2 Kiwanians say something bad to me. And me being a teenager, the 2 bad things stays with me. That is human nature. That is psychology. People more remember the bad than the good. And we have a responsibility as Kiwanians to make that effort. So for those of you who interact with CKI members, please, I beg you. You might not recognize, because a lot of times you don't realize what you're doing. A lot of times you don't recognize what you're doing. But remember that as you interact with the SLP, not the CKI, SLP members, you have to be very mindful that you come across as a positive energy as opposed to a negative one. All right, so those are for the Kiwanians who attend meetings. Another thing I must also say, for the Kiwanians who attend meetings, there's something else I need to bring up with the Kiwanians who attend meetings. It's not about money. I don't want every time there's an issue, you throw money at it. Yeah, we love to have more money. Who don't want more money? But it's best to teach a man how to fish than to give him a fish. It's best to teach the CKI members how to raise their own funds to pay their own dues than you keep doing a check and give to them. It's best that there are some clubs who have the land space. Why don't tell them, why don't just start a garden, raise some cattle or something and sell it? I could use it's not every fundraiser has to be about a cake sale. No. Not every fundraiser has to be a beach party or some fete. I don't know if they are fete nowadays. Young people might have another name for it, but the older generation, we know we're talking about fete, right? No, you can raise funds other ways. And one of the responsibility we as Kiwanians have is to show the CKI members, the SLP in general, but for this case in our meeting, the CKI members more specifically, how to be more reliant, more dependent, independent financially, how to have proper money management. You are the Kiwani's advisor for that club. And if ever made that to come to you for money, something wrong. You're not advising them well. You need to advise them about how to raise money. And there are times when you have to help them out. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, please, don't take the message I said, don't give them money. I'm not saying that. But show them how to raise your funds. And there are times you have to tap it up. So in the $100, how much you can raise on your own? What are you planning to do? What is the project plan? What are your meetings you have in place? Do you cover this, 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 this? You're going to execute the project, execute the project. From the project, they raise $6, $60 to $200. All right? I ain't talking the next $40. But at least next time around now, I guarantee you, they won't raise $60. Next time they raise maybe $80. Just gonna afford it. The next $20. And after that, they raise $100. After that, they raise $150. Look at that. That is what it is about, Kiwanians. Not to keep throwing money at the problem if you see it as a problem, because the circles won't grow, they won't learn. But it's to help them to be more self-sufficient and raise their own money, and then you help them to tap them up. And that is the important thing. All right. For those Kiwanians now who simply don't go to a CKI meeting, they even know what CKI means. They have no idea about CKI other when DLA come on body at DCM or what have you. You have to be careful if you really truly love the organization, because the truth is you're killing it slowly, slowly, drip by drip by drip, by ignoring the SLP movement, which is very vital to our survival. You are. But you know what? What is the root cause of this? I think the root cause of this is that I think some Kiwanians are actually intimidated by CKI members. They don't know how to handle them. They see them as young adults, and young adults feisty. They don't know if they're going to respect them like the key club members will and say this and that. They just know how to approach them. And they're intimidated by the CKI members. Just as how the CKI members themselves are also intimidated by the Kiwanians. So you have CKI members intimidated by the Kiwanians and Kiwanians intimidated. So it's like the gap getting bigger and bigger. Kiwanians, get out of your comfort zone. Challenge yourself. They are like you and me. They are like you and me. You're a teenager sometime. You're a young adult sometime. You have adult kids. I challenge you. I challenge you to attend a CKI meeting. Go with someone. Go with a Kiwani's advisor. Say, hey, next year I go to this club. Take me with you. I challenge you. those of you Kiwanians who club doesn't sponsor a CKI club, you don't get away. No, it's not like this. You're part of this too. Because why your club doesn't sponsor a CKI club? No. It can't sponsor one in the future. Because there's still tertiary institutions around the place. And we're looking for Kiwanian advice, Kiwanian club to sponsor. Matter of fact, we were looking for, well, let's not go into that right now, but the point is, so even if your Kiwanis club doesn't sponsor any CKI member, any CKI club, arrange the club. Arrange the club to Michael CKI, UA CKI, UTEC CKI. For those of you in Barbados, go to K-Ville, go to Barbados Community College. For those of you in Bahamas, there's BAMSI, there's the first CKI club in the Caribbean. At that time, it's College of the Bahamas. It's no University of the Bahamas. There's Barbados Baptist University, right? There are several opportunities. For those of you in islands that there are no CKI club right now, there are opportunities for you to visit them and start a CKI club there. Just about every island have a little community college and their own version of university there. And reach out to me if you really want to start one. Reach out to me and say, dear Leo, I want to start one. But the point at time, the immediate challenge I'm throwing to you right now is to reach out to a nearby CKI club. This is not like Key Club and Builders Club where you need to have background check approved. With CKI, is young adults, much older. Matter of fact, CKI members need to have background check to interclub with Key Clubbers and Builders Club. So with CKI, just come. You need a background check. If you know you have issues though, don't come. If you know you have some problems that you come in my cause, not all right. Go into a project somewhere else. But you all know what I mean. But I need for you to interact with the CKI members and visit them. And don't say because my Kiwanis club don't sponsor one. No, you don't get away from this. All right? I also want you to attend one of their projects. There's a CKI club and they're having a project. I want you to attend their project. Participate. Is that all the time when your project, you invite them to your project, but when they have theirs, it's like, no, it is part of developing that, bridging that gap, developing that relationship. So go to their projects. Another thing as well is to volunteer to speak at their events. Go to their meetings, and just about every Kiwanian have a story. Think about that. Every single Kiwanian has a story they can share with CKI members who will answer some burning question that these members were struggling with. It could be your professional journey. Share it with them. You could talk about your leadership development experience as well. Or you could talk about current affair issues. And guess what? You can have a story time. Volunteer to go have a story time. Tell about the good old days. Kids like that. They like to hear about the good old days. Carry your album. Yes, sir. There are several things you can do to interact with the CKI members. I tell you this, as much as I try to be very friendly and I make myself approachable, the truth is, I had an experience recently, which I just laughed and I said, this is how critical it is. As you know, most of it, because of the pandemic, everything is virtual. And so a lot of time the virtual, there's not much of a fellowship and what have you. And I remember I attend the district convention, and a CKI board member who I've never met in person, always interact, came up to me and says, you know, dear Leo, you're cool. I'm like, I mean, you're cool. He said, yeah, man, you're cool. To be honest with you, I was intimidated by you. I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah. Because when you come to the meeting, you're always so serious. You're always focusing on getting things done, doing this, was the support done on time, the quality report, and you're always pushing us. But I never really get a chance to really interact with you on a one-on-one like we do at the convention now. And you say, you know what, you're cool. And I'm not intimidated by it anymore because I see on a different level. I'm like, wow, that's cool. It's the same thing with a lot of CKI members who they go to a Kiwanis meeting and they see all these big men and women in terms of status in life, achieving, and when they come to a meeting, you guys just don't interact with them. They come to a meeting and like what things that, oh, no, you got this opportunity, so please take note of this. Because I experienced it as well when I was younger and I attend meetings. And not with my dad, because with my dad it was different because everybody know my dad and was, you know, but when I was in CKI and on my own, I visited other Kiwanis clubs and what have you, I experienced this. They come, you go to a meeting and they come and greet each other and you know one corner. And we CKI members, if we don't go out to extend ourselves, Kiwanis just walk past and just give another and gone. As if it never exists. So in that meeting, they acknowledge your presence and that's it. Meeting done. Everybody just walk past you. Gone. Nobody asks you if you need a right to half retreat. Nothing. Those things have a lasting effect on. It's non-verbal. It's not in the Kiwanis manual. It's not in the training per se. But these things have a lasting effect. And it is important that when the CKI members are in your space, you let them feel welcome. You be that, again, I'm going to use a term, that positive energy in their life. A lot of them is having major issues at home. They're having issues with school, studying. And when they come to CKI, is their respite from all of that. And sometimes they will have given back from the little that they have. So when you interact with them, make them feel the love. Make them feel, say you're part of K family. This is a family thing. Not a, I am a Kiwanian, yes, a Surkia, da. No. No. When you go, your uncle Leo, your uncle, whatever your name is, or your Auntie Mary, or Auntie Gwen, or Auntie whatever your name is, we're family. And family love each other. And guess what? I get rough with the CKI members at time to time, and I do. But you see, when me get rough, then take it different than when a Kiwanian who they don't have that relationship with, get rough with them. I can reprimand that CKI member for something stupid. I said, what is wrong with you? Da. And I said, oh, Lord, dear Leo, take time, oh man. All right, we know we do wrong. Da. And then fix it. Then I feel no way. You as a Kiwanan who don't have that relationship with them now, you come at one meeting for the year, and they say something wrong, I come and I start reprimand them. They were struck away. They were like, wow. That is the effect. And that is why it's important for you to have that relationship with them. Please bring them in. It's a family, your uncles and your aunts. So when you reprimand them, it have a positive effect. It's more constructive as opposed to negative. Please, I want that to sink in. Your aunts and uncles. And you need to let the CKI members, in particular to this, but the SLP members in general, feel the family connection, because that connection that is going to close the gap. That is the connection that is going to make that divide close. If we continue to be Kiwanians, we don't this and we don't that. And da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. Nothing is going to happen. No change. And the circuits, the key club members, everybody is going to grow. They're going to develop because we're ambitious. We're at university. We're bright. No, don't spit in a SLP. All right, let me say it in standard English for our Caribbean members. There are no students who are not bright that is in our SLP movement. They're all bright students. So we're all ambitious and they want to grow. So they will grow, but begrudging so. And when they leave, they won't have anything to do with the movement. You know, the sad fact about this, so sad. I know a couple past international trustees who are in Rotary. Yes. They're in Rotary. That is sad. How do we have that? It can't be. We put too much investment, too much work to allow our members from SLP to go elsewhere. So, my fellow Kiwanians, please, I beseech you, I beg you, and if you are offended by anything I said, please accept my humble apology, but it is all said in me being very frank and throwing a bucket of cold water where it needs to go to say we need to wake up. And we can't continue to treat our SLP movement like this, or else our movement itself won't last very long. And with that, I must say, I must thank some people. I must really thank some people. KIT Hope, DLG Willie, DLGE Lloyd Distant Senior, DLGE Sharon, Kishman, Alonzo, Anastasia, Joycelyn, Ria. There are Kiwanians across the Caribbean who are impacting lives. Please, I beg you, do what is done and make sure that we save our organization, because that is our future. With that said, thank you for the time. And don't be too angry with me, because guess what? It has to be said. Back to you, Mr. President.
Oh. Presently, you gonna have any questions?
Oh, yes.
No, I mean, yes, President Paul.
President Paul.
Yes.
Bear in mind the time, I moved a motion that we extend the meeting by 10 minutes.
I wish to second.
Thank you very much, PDT Rosted and DP Richard.
Yes.
Does anyone have any question for DA Leo on his passionate presentation?
That is the most candid presentation I've heard in a long while.
Yes.
President Paul?
Yes, DP Kevin.
I'd like to thank DA Leo for what is clearly a heartfelt presentation. My question is, he indicated that he is lobbying for certain changes in terms of the Distinguished Club program and how points are allocated in terms of, for example, delinquent Circle K clubs and so on. I wanted to find out from you, dear Leo, how are your proposals in that regard being taken by Kiwanis International?
Okay, so until Kiwanis International, you know, things have to go through. All right, how should I say this very diplomatically? No, I'm not known to be the most diplomatic person. I'm sorry, but I'm going to try to be this time, especially with KIT Hope on the call. But I would say this: Kiwanis International, there is a process. So they would take something, an idea, then they have a committee review it. Then that committee will then pass on to another level. They go to the executive, and the executive will then vote it, and they go to the floor. And so there's a process. So let's say this: it is at the early stages right now.
Give me one second. I'm just going to the another. I want to ask a question.
Thank you, dear Leo.
Yes, I see. I see DLG Lloyd Distant. Over to you, sir, with your question.
Good, thank you very much. And also bear in mind that my question was not asked because somebody jumped over me, so I'll take after DLG Lloyd.
Yes, thank you very much.
Actually, mine is not a question so much. I just wish to take the opportunity to say thank you very much, dear Leo. Yours was a very reasoned presentation. In fact, at one point, I felt that this was like a fireside chat. And I enjoyed it very much. And well, I'm the oldest one in this audience, I'm sure. And I was there at the start of Circle K in Jamaica. And I'm so very happy to see that Circle K, and in fact, Key Club, all the way to Circle K, has helped to produce a DA Leo. Thank you very much. I am certainly heartened. Thank you.
That means a lot coming from you, DLGE. I'm DLGE Lloyd Senior. You know, I have the utmost respect and love for you. Thank you. That means a lot.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, I will.
DLG Llewellyn, may I?
Yes. Yes, please. Then I'll go to KIT Hope.
Okay, thank you very much. Excellent presentation. I frankly believe that as Kiwanians and as Kiwanis clubs, we have not really done enough to try to attract the CKI members into our midst. I firmly believe that until we sit down face to face with these members, look them straight in the eye and say, you tell us what we need to do to make this, to make it more attractive to you to come into our midst. We're not going to see any significant change because this is a discussion which has been going on and on for a very long time, and we are not seeing any significant positive change. As a matter of fact, I don't think we have been seeing any positive change at all. Just my comment.
Fellow Kiwanians and guests, good evening. Everyone is hearing me clearly?
Good evening.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are hearing it clearly, but before you go, I did yield to KIT Hope to ask our question, then I'll come back to you in that order.
Thank you, and it wouldn't surprise me if DP Jerome and I are on the same page. I think you're kind of shooting yourselves in the foot because I have to tell you, Caribbean really stands out where Circle K is concerned. Because when I approached my first, board meeting, we brought that up, and they're having issues with CKI overseas, outside of the Caribbean, because some of these students who are actually CKI members they don't behave like us. They don't have the manners like us. They don't have the morals and the principles like us. And when I brought it up, it was like, really? Because they were saying that some of them are just rude. And part of that is And I go into the basic now. Part of that is at 18 years old, they're adults. And even if they're still under their parents' roof, they're treated like adults. You know, and even if the parent don't agree with what they're doing, they allow them to do it because they're considered adults. We have a different concept in the Caribbean. What I'm saying is that we need to just lead and keep leading and leading until they get it. Because I can't do it alone, but I'm not stopping until it changes, because the truth is the only way we're going to grow, and D.A. Leo said it, we have got to transition these, our family, our heirs, into our clubs. And that's worldwide. So yes, we have a lot of issues here where maybe clubs are not, paying attention enough to their SLPs, etc. But worldwide, we are stars. And that don't mean you just drop the ball. But I'm just saying that give yourself a little credit, but just keep leading and pushing. And I am almost sure we will be successful. But it's a worldwide situation. And we are doing extremely well in comparison to the rest of the world. And I mean, in terms of setting examples and just being parents for these youth. So that is my way of saying, of just encouraging you to just keep doing what you're doing. And if you know you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, do it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, KITO. I will move on to DC Jerome.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I believe that throughout this presentation, I am one of those who would have been closest to tears, because Leo and I have had these conversations, especially because of how closely we work together. And we have been working for the past 2 years, DA.
Yes.
Fellow Kiwanians and guests, and for those who have known me since my time in SLP, this message should be no stranger to you at all. I'm very grateful of the persons who are here who have been with Kiwanis for a long time and have supported SLP clubs for a long time, even since I have been there. Right? I need for everyone to understand the scope of this message. D.A. Leo and I have experience as past governors of CKI. And as a result of this, I know, his message may be slightly different from how I may tone it, but it is the same message that has been preached over and over and over again on numerous occasions, and we should really take heed to what it is that was said today. There is no doubt about it. There are CKI members who are here with us today who are looking for you to take heed to this same message. For decades, Rhea can also indicate, because I've been there, we have all been there. We have all been there. I mean, not to toot the horn, but my club has a CKI club, and that club has produced 2 lieutenant governors, one who is with us today. And the reality is we don't hide anything at all from them, because they're in our main Kiwanis membership group. They interact with us as if they are a part of us. And I can tell you that that has assisted a great deal in the change that we really want to see in terms of the growth that exists, or the growth that needs to exist in Kiwanis. But we are just one of many who can do the same thing going forward. Please, I'm asking every single Kiwanian here today. I'm not going to steal the thunder from the speaker today, but the reality is that let's take heed to what was said. It's important that we get ourselves involved in the transition of our children, because the hardest part of it is transitioning from being a young adult into the working world. And despite them having biological parents, they need our help as well. They became involved for a reason. Let us lead by example. And DLG Lloyd, I also need to hear from you going forward. But yes, let's take this into consideration, especially with the plans that they have and the plans that we have to ensure that our support is undying. My 2 cents.
Yes, thank you very much, DC Jerome. I will take I see 3 hands up. I'll take those 3, then I'll hand over to President Shearer to continue with the program. So in the order, I will go with KCYP, followed by Friends Across Borders, and President Ria.
Okay, thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. I hope that you are all well. I am one of the products of Kiwanis Club of Young Professionals, Western Jamaica, one of the LGs, as DC Jerome has just stated. And I must tell you, it has been a great pleasure just working with that club. I've seen where their help, even as a LG, working with other clubs and their Kiwanis clubs, I've seen where UTech West cannot go down once they have that club with them, because they never leave our side. Every step of the way, they're there. It doesn't matter at what time we can reach out to our Kiwanians, and they'll never let us down. So I must tell you, it is a joy working with them, and I can tell you, as Kiwanians, I'm a new Kiwanian here. It's not even a year so far, and I am in the position of chairperson at the club, and I can tell you it's an awesome feeling. And I know that because of this relationship that we can have so much more coming out of Kiwanis, coming out of Circle K, just because of this. So guys, please heed to the warning that was given by our very own Dielio. And, you know, as we speak to each other, Dielio, I'm his son, right? I'm his son in Circle K. And guys, I must tell you, he's a great father, great leader, and you've seen him today, you've got the word from him. So thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to speak, and thank you, Delia, for that message.
That's my son, guys. That's my son.
Yes. Friends Across Borders.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, fellow Kiwanians. Hi, Leo, and all the Circle K's, CKIs. My name is Marva Master Stupat. I was a former governor as well as a trustee in CKI, and I concur with Leo, much of what he has said. And well, Leo kind of threw me out last year when he found out I just joined Kiwanis for much of the concerns that he has expressed, and also too because I felt betrayed, I think. But we won't go into that aspect of it. I am concerned about Kiwanis myself as a new Kiwanian with that gigantic Circle K CKI background. I am now in a few months in, I'm really concerned, and I share much of what Leo has expressed. I'm concerned because of the inconsistencies. I'm concerned about the lack of communication too, because to be honest with you, I've not been getting much information about CKI. And I'm very much concerned about that. So maybe the district can look at that, dear Leo, because those of us who are former CKI heads, as well as been such an active member, and just nothing. I am coming into Kiwanis fully now, and I'm not getting any information about CKI. So I tried to go on their the website to get some information, but I do think that at our level, maybe we could do some survey to get at those former members who had been so active and might want to be interested in assisting. Maybe you could revamp the Alumni Association, CKI Alumni Association, as well as the past governors. I seem to recall we had a past governor for CKI. Maybe we could revamp that. And for those of us who are now in Kiwanis, maybe we can utilize it as a springboard to kind of give more support to CKI, especially for our divisions in ECNC. I'm not sure if that is still Leah can help me with that one. But quite apart from that, I don't know what the needs are. I don't know what the membership is like. I am in need of a lot of information. So I am just one of several former heads. I have contact with several former governors of Circle K International, and also several former trustees, including myself, of CKI. So, you know, Leah, you do have my number. I've asked a couple of questions. They have not been answered. So please take up the offer to work on the communication aspect so that those of us who are there can assist. Thank you so very much.
All right. Thank you very much for that. For those of you who don't know, Marva is our first distinguished governor that we had in CKI, and she also went on to become our first international trustee from CKI from the Caribbean. And she has been out there for a while, and she's just getting back in. What I'm going to say in terms of answering some of the questions that was raised, or issue that was raised by Marva, is this. If you are somewhere you don't know anything about CKI, or you want to know about CKI, every territory of a CKI club, and you can always get information about the CKI club there. And if anything, reach out to me directly or through your club president, who each club president will have the information through the LG. So information is always there. Sometimes it's a matter of where to get it from. All right. If you don't go to a CKI club or your club don't sponsor one, reach out to your club president through the LG, and information will filter through. Marva, you and I need to talk some more for sure. So we then take it from there. Back over to you, Mr. President.
Yes, thank you very much, D'Elio. Okay, President Ria, and from one of our regional CKI member in Barbados as well, want to ask a question. And I did see DP Kevin, he didn't get a chance to present his question, so we will take that order.
Thank you very much, President Paul. I want to thank D'Elio for a very good presentation. Like, he hit all the issues that, you know, we have been experiencing for a very, very long time. This message really that I want to leave tonight is for the visiting SLP members. And it's something that I try to get my own sponsored youth from Bridgetown to understand. Sometimes you need to step out of your comfort zone. And it's not always easy. It's not always sweet, but we need to be the change that we want to see in Kiwanis. Running away from Kiwanis and joining other clubs isn't going to help the situation. We know what the SLP programs mean for us. I wasn't a key clubber, but I love Circle K, right? And I understand that these SLP programs will not exist without Kiwanis clubs. And the Kiwanis future is not going to look very bright unless we have our SLP programs coming in. So it's difficult, it's uncomfortable, we don't always like it, but if we don't move into Kiwanis, those SLP programs that we love so much will cease to exist. And that's the reality of the situation, right? We need to go in, we know that there are things that we want to change, but we need to be the change that we want to see in Kiwanis. So don't run away from the Kiwanis clubs, it's not always nice, but the Kiwanis clubs need you. Thank you.
DG Josh.
Okay, good night, everyone. I hope that you can hear me. My name is Joshua Grandizier. I am a past distinguished governor of the Caribbean Atlantic District of Key Club, and now I have the pleasure of serving this year as a DCP on the Caribbean District of CKI. I'm relatively new to CKI, so I guess I can speak about SLP in general and just thank DA Leo for his message, which I think is very timely. But moreover, I just want to say that sometimes, we just, as DA Leo said in our SLP, want to feel comfortable, want to feel like we're in a family. And sometimes Kiwanis can be a place that is so isolating, regardless of if it's just like clashes between Kiwanian members or clashes between Kiwanians and us. And behind most great SLP members, regardless of if it's Circle Kers, Key Clubbers, Builders Clubbers, or K-Kitters, there's that one advisor that told them, believe in yourself, or got behind them and helped them to where they are today. So from me, from Barbados, all I want to say is thank you to those advisors that have gotten behind the children and helped them. For me, that's Miss Chase, Miss Sophia Chase from 8C and my past DA. And to those of you who may not be right now working, remember that one child, they're just one child, one young adult, can be waiting on you to be that spark, that light to continue, to help them continue in the Kiwanis family. And even if it's just one, it may be two, it may be a whole class or a whole club, they're deserving of you as a Kiwanian helping them through it. That's all from me. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak, President Paul.
Thank you very much, DG Josh. And I see we get the last question from DA Christopher. Then we
I'm sorry, President Paul. I was before my good DA Christopher Humber. I would like to say something, please. Thank you. Dear Leo, we have had this issue for a very long time. And as a member of the district administrators for EC and C, the issue I see does not start and end with Circle K. The issue starts at K Kids and it does end with Circle K. And the reason why the students are not joining Kiwanis after leaving the SLP program is because Kiwanians don't support them. And I have clubbers that refuse to go into Circle K because of lack of support by our Kiwanis clubs that sponsor those SLP clubs. And we need to show more support as Kiwanians, because when we ask our SLP members to support us with our programs as Kiwanians, they show up in full force. When they have programs, you can count the amount of Kiwanians that show up to support our kids. And that is very disheartening. I am a lover of SLP. I never attended any program in Kiwanis for SLP. Never went to it. But as a Kiwanian joining this organization, my first year, I was introduced to SLP, and I've been in Kiwanis almost 20 years, and I am still loving SLP. But we have to support our kids. Your message was timely. I mean, you preached a message out of this world, and I say thank you, Mr. Preacher. It was well received, and I hope it doesn't fall on deaf ears. But as Kiwanians, we need to do better to support our SLP programs because, as you said, we should never be looking for members. Our members should always come from the SLP program. There is no reason why we are out there introducing non-Kiwanians, because they are junior Kiwanians, into this organization, when we would have put in the time and effort to train them about this organization, so their natural progression would be to become a Kiwanian at the end of the day. So I would hope that all of the Kiwanians on this meeting tonight take heed and put their best foot forward to do better, to help our children under our SLP programs. Thank you.
Thank you very much for those kind comments. DA Christopher.
Thank you, President Paul.
President Paul and the president of the Young Professionals, I'm going to suggest
DA Chris,
Barbican.
Barbican Club, Barbican.
Barbican Club. I'm sorry, so that's my Sarge. I'm going to suggest that you have a follow-up to this. DA Leo and I, we have spoken about this. I think you need to do an SLP forum where you invite all the DAs in Jamaica to come and actually present the state of SLPs. So that's for the both of you to look at. The next thing I'd like to suggest to everybody on this call, because it's always nice to get Kiwanians boxed in a corner, and let's see what will happen now. Continue with what DA Leo said. There's something that we've been doing in Key Club for years, and it has been paying off. I see this evening a president of a Circle K who is a Key Club alum. I see on it also the president of US Circle K, who was a distinguished lieutenant governor in Key Club. Same thing for Michael University College. And then LG from UE, also from Key Club. I also see on the call several former Key Clubbers. We need to make sure that in our organization, we have continuity. We've been doing it at Key Club. So now I say to the Kiwanians on the call, you need to get involved and at the same time, mentor some of these Circle Kers, because it's your mentorship program that is going to work, that is going to keep them in the organization. A couple of years ago, a Key Club governor and a Circle K governor by the name of Alonzo Small said one thing to me. Circle Kers really don't want nothing much. They just want a little attention. The fact that when a Circle K needs a summer job, they can't turn to Kiwanians and get it. Very few Kiwanians can do that. DLG Willie will tell you he has played his role as a mentor, but how many actually step up to the plate and mentor the Circle K members, the CKI members, that is what we need. This mentorship will keep them in the organization. And when we start to do that, trust me, it will be a contention in Eastern Canada and the Caribbean.
Yes, thank you very much, DA Christopher. But to do the official vote of thanks, I'm going to call on DP Richard.
President Paul, I think you have one more hand raised. Just maybe you give me last. President Joshua Brown for Michael.
Oh, my apologies. DLG William. Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, DLG William. And thank you so much, President Paul. I know it's been a while.
Yes.
Since I've graced your presence in a meeting.
You've been
But
missing, yes.
I have to agree with Delio, as early in my presidentship, he had called me and spoke to me, and we had a little bit of a chat. And I told him of my future plans. And I have to agree that one of my greatest regrets right now in life is that I didn't get to join Key Club and start from early in the K family. And I can truly attest that the Michael, because even the president of the college reached out to me and saying how grateful he is that Michael has a Key Club because of the tremendous work that we did on the campus. And even first year students who are coming to the Michael now knows about Michael Circle K before they even know about other clubs and institutions at the Michael. So from the Michael perspective, I can say that Circle K has been a tremendous help to numerous students. And I can attest to the counsel I got from DLG William on numerous times. I just want to end it by saying that for us, Circle K is more than just a service project thing. It's really a community. It's really a way to network. The amount of friendships that we form, especially with Kiwanians as well, it is something that needs to be kept going on. And trust me, this coming year, I'm going to ensure that Michael is fully on board with the Kiwanis clubs.
Thank you very much, President. Well, DP Joshua, for that assurance of continuity. I'll call on DP Richard to do the vote of thanks.
Thank you, President. On behalf of the presidents, officers, members, and guests of this joint meeting of the Kiwanis Club of Barbican and the Kiwanis Club of Kingston, mine is the privilege of extending sincere thanks to the District Administrator of the Caribbean District, Leo Williams, for his presentation on our future CKI. The presentation challenges us all to strive for excellence, growth, and sustainability and commitment. And it is an opportunity for the Kiwanis movement in general to innovate and recommit to our several objectives. I'd also wish to thank all the guests and members who participated to make this online meeting a success, and ask you to open your microphones and give our presenter an applause. Thank you. Over to you, President.
Thank you very much, DP Richard. I will hand over the remainder of the agenda to President Ashira to continue.
Thank you, President Paul. At this time, I'd like to call our Secretary Yolande, who will serve as Sergeant at Arms. Secretary Yolande.
She's muted, let me.
Secretary? All right, I'll just go ahead and do Sergeant at Arms. So at this time, I'm officially stepping into the role of Sergeant. So for both clubs, I will just do a blanket charge of $300 for each for all members, right? And I was not prepared, so I don't have a joke. Now I will just hand over to our secretary. I know that both are on, but I'm not certain what is happening with Yolanda at the time, this time. So I'll ask DLG Willie to do the announcement from the chat and ask from the floor. DLG Willie.
Unmute, really?
You need to unmute.
Yes,
unmute
I'm here.
really.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we're hearing you now.
Okay. Insofar as notices, announcements, just a reminder, certainly members of the Kiwanis Club of Kingston that our annual general meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, the 26th of April. And in terms of upcoming conventions, please be reminded that the Kiwanis International Convention will be held in Indianapolis from June the 8th to the 11th. The All Island Convention will be held at the Grand Bahia from July 29th to August 1. Now, on the Sunday, that's July 31, that will be the actual date for the convention. There is a one-day pass for persons who want to attend that. It's US $70, which is entitles you to all the snacks and things. Otherwise, you can spend the weekend down there, but there's a cost to the rate for the rooms. And lastly, let me remind you all, registration is now open. Eastern Canada Caribbean District Convention that's been held in Fredericton from August 18th to the 20th this year. That's Fredericton in New Brunswick. President Ashira, I believe that's all the announcements that I have. Certainly, there are interclubbing opportunities for the members of the Kiwanis Club of Kingston. We'll be updating you tomorrow on the opportunities for the rest of the week. Thank you.
So much. Yes. All right, and now I will invite DP Stewart to give us a thought for the week.
Thank you, President Ashira. Okay, I have two thoughts as usual. The first one is, great people are ordinary people with an extraordinary amount of determination. And the second one is, never make someone a priority who is making you an option. And that's my second thought for the week. Back to you.
An excellent thought. So at this time, I will now invite President Hall to note 9/11, and I'm asking everyone meeting or
Thank you very much, President Ashura. At this time, this joint virtual meeting of the Kiwanis Club of Kingston and the Kiwanis Club of Barbican, I'm going to ask that you all raise a toast to Kiwanis International, to friendly Jamaica, land we love. This joint meeting is now terminated.
Well done, all. Well done.
Wonderful presentation, DA Leo. Wonderful presentation. Good evening, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Good night.
Excellent meeting, Presidents. Really good to be here, dear Leo. Thank you for your presentation. We do have a lot to talk about, sir.
Yes, LG, mercy.
All right, take care, everyone.
Thank you, LG. Yes, DA Leo, we need to speak as well.
Yes.
We continue the discussions.
Absolutely.
Yeah, dear Leo, you touch a lot of corns. But it was good to hear,
That is why I apologize at the offset, because I know that will happen.
But you did it very, in a manner that nobody really needed to be offended. But now to just change course if they were on the right course, and do what is necessary.
That is it.
So I really appreciate your presentation.
Thank you.
Excellent. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the response was good.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're just under 200 people present at one stage.
Wow.
Yeah, this is the largest.
193, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this is the largest.
The Caribbean turned out.
Yeah, Caribbean turned out in numbers.
And some oldsters turn up, sneaking inside quietly and leaving. Mostly from Circle K from our time.
Yes, Marva. Yeah. Good seeing you.
Yeah, Leo, I asked a couple of questions in the WhatsApp chat. Please respond to them.
Later respond, all right?
Yeah.
We'll be in touch.
President Rio, hello. You sent a note to me. I tried to respond, but I don't know what's happening. She is a former CKI, and we have some former Circle K's from Kingston School of Nursing, Leo. Remember, that was a very good club we had those days.
Yes.
Rhea is from Kingston School of Nursing?
She said she was at UTEC.
Okay.
Yeah, she's now a president at KCB.
Yeah. No, I know Rhea. She's actually one of my divisional coordinators now, this new administrative year.
Interesting.
Yeah.
She sent a little shout out to me, but I didn't get to respond quickly.
Marva, which club are you a member of now? Because I didn't realize you had actually joined.
Yes,
Okay,
after
good.
I got a cuss out from a DA named Leo.
Me and Marva always a cuss. We're from the same era. We're from the same era.
Oh boy, yeah. Well, you see, some of the stuff you touched on, I didn't have the connectivity again because we really didn't get the kind of support that we should have gotten, and I tried to gather as many former circle players to get some assistance to charter Kiwanis Club, but I had to go abroad and then they weren't able to follow up on it. And later on, when I came back, they attempted to form a past governors association to assist the district, but it went to naught, because everybody was trying to forge their careers and so on, and family and thing. So I know that there are others who would give a lot of support to the district. By the way, Leo, is it still ECNC or it's now the Caribbean?
It's now the Caribbean since 2011.
Oh.
It has, there's a change. So
So
it's two separate CKI districts now.
okay, so you have a Eastern Canada different from Caribbean CKI.
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay, okay. What about the divisions within the Caribbean? Are they still the same or they have expanded?
It's now 4. As a matter of fact, last year we had a new one, Palm.
Oh, that's good.
So it's now 4. The original Paradise, then
Mhm.
Sunshine, then Crystal, and now Palm.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said Palm?
Palm is the last division that was formed
Oh,
last year.
interesting,
Yeah,
interesting.
like palm tree.
So how many how we used to say it? Is it clubs or
Clubs, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
they're
how
still
many
clubs.
clubs do we have
Yeah.
overall in the district?
30. A matter of fact, we're trying to form one in Trinidad now.
Oh, the one
Yeah.
in Trinidad died?
Yeah, well, I don't know about
Yeah, we had formed one at St. Augustine.
that. That is after my time.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
yeah. So it's St. Augustine, we're trying to form back. All right,
Okay.
Marva, I don't want to take
Yes.
away with a meeting.
Oh, sorry.
So maybe you would
No,
talk.
I thought the meeting was over.
No, but you have the other members want to talk, then say, maybe we talk offline. All right, later.